Nobody disrespects you by accident. They do it because you allow it. And once you understand this, you stop being the target and start becoming the standard. If you're hearing this and realizing you've been tolerating too much, good. That awareness changes everything. Stick with me, because the last two will separate you from everyone else. Respect is not given, it's enforced through behavior. Most people operate under the false assumption that respect is something you can request or hope for. You can't simply tell someone to respect you and expect them to comply. Respect is a reaction to how you present yourself and how you allow others to treat you. When you enforce boundaries consistently, you create a framework for how people interact with you. If someone crosses a line and you ignore it, you've just trained them to push further. Enforcement doesn't mean aggression or hostility. It means clarity, control, and consistency. It's about demonstrating through your actions that disrespect is not acceptable and that there are consequences for attempting it. This could be as simple as correcting someone calmly but firmly when they overstep, or as strong as removing yourself from environments where disrespect persists. By doing this, you establish a behavioral standard that others recognize almost instinctively. Over time, people learn that treating you with disrespect is a losing proposition. They either adapt and show proper regard, or they self-select out of your space. This is why high-value individuals rarely suffer from ongoing disrespect. Their lives operate under rules they enforce, not rules they negotiate endlessly. In essence, respect is earned not through charm, persuasion, or popularity, but through disciplined enforcement of your personal standards and boundaries. The moment you understand this, you stop being at the mercy of others' opinions and begin controlling how the world responds to your presence. Tolerance of disrespect trains people to keep disrespecting you. Every time you allow someone to cross a line without consequence, you are sending them a message. This behavior is acceptable. People are constantly scanning for weakness, looking for patterns that reveal who they can manipulate or dominate. Tolerance does not make you patient or kind in their eyes. It makes you predictable and malleable. The moment you let disrespect slide, you've effectively set the rules of engagement for that person. They will test you again and again, each time pushing further to see where your limits truly lie. The solution isn't anger or overreaction, it's strategic enforcement. Respond in a way that communicates calmly but clearly that their behavior will not be tolerated. This might mean correcting them immediately, stepping away, or even eliminating their access to you entirely. Consistency is critical. If you enforce boundaries sporadically, they will learn that disrespect is sometimes allowed, and they'll continue to probe. But if every breach is met with the same controlled response, you train them to respect you because they know the cost of crossing you. Over time, this doesn't just stop ongoing disrespect. It reshapes the way people interact with you entirely. They begin to approach you differently, with caution and consideration, because they understand that you are not someone to be played with. Tolerance doesn't build relationships. It builds patterns of exploitation. If you want people to respect you, you must refuse to tolerate what undermines your value, and in doing so, you teach the world how to treat you. Silence is power when used strategically, not weakness. Most people think that responding to disrespect with words, explanations, or justifications shows strength, but in reality, it often shows the opposite. Talking too much gives away your energy, your control, and your power. When someone disrespects you, their goal is to provoke a reaction, to make you lose composure, and to assert dominance. If you rise to the bait, you've handed them exactly what they want. Silence, however, flips the script. By remaining calm and composed, you create discomfort in the person trying to undermine you. They expect chaos, emotion, or argument, but you give them nothing, just an unshakable presence. This void forces them to confront themselves because the usual levers of manipulation no longer work. Silence communicates confidence, self-control, and authority far more effectively than words ever could. It's a signal that you are untouchable in that moment, that their attempts at disrespect hold no weight. Using silence strategically doesn't mean ignoring all conflict or never speaking. It means choosing when and how to respond, making your words rare and impactful. People will quickly learn that with you, disrespect has no leverage. Over time, your silence becomes a weapon. It shapes interactions, sets boundaries, and establishes your dominance without needing to raise your voice. In essence, controlled silence turns every attempt at disrespect into a reflection of the other person's weakness, not yours. and that alone is one of the most powerful tools you can wield in life. Boundaries define your value more than words ever will. People often underestimate the power of clearly established limits. When you set a boundary, you are silently but unmistakably communicating your worth, what you will accept and what you won't. Boundaries are not suggestions, they are statements of self-respect. Someone who crosses them is immediately signaling that they either don't understand your value or are willing to challenge it. Your response to this determines whether they continue testing you or adjust their behavior. The mistake most people make is over-explaining, apologizing, or negotiating their boundaries. That turns strength into ambiguity, giving others the green light to push further. Strong individuals, however, communicate boundaries with precision and without emotional overexposure. Simple, firm statements like, "I don't tolerate that," or "that's not acceptable," carry far more weight than essays of justification. Boundaries are reinforced through consistency. If you waver, people perceive weakness. Over time, well-enforced boundaries train others to respect you because they learn that violating them has consequences. They also protect your mental energy and prevent unnecessary conflict, as people quickly learn which behaviors are off limits. In essence, boundaries act as a mirror of your internal value. The clearer and firmer they are, the higher the respect you command. The world doesn't honor words, it honors actions, presence, and limits. By setting and maintaining boundaries, you teach people how to treat you, and you make it impossible for disrespect to go unchallenged. Emotional reactions give control to the disrespectful person. When someone disrespects you and you respond with anger, frustration, or panic, you are handing them the steering wheel of the interaction. They've set the tone, and you've fallen into it. This is exactly what they want, to provoke a reaction that validates their behavior and shifts the power in their favor. Emotional reactions are like fuel for them. They thrive on it because it proves that you can be manipulated. Real strength comes from detachment and control. By managing your emotions, you take the power away from the disrespectful person and place it squarely back in your hands. This doesn't mean ignoring the offense. It means responding strategically, not emotionally. You can address disrespect firmly, with clarity and calm, without letting it affect your internal state. People who learn this realize that their attempts at provocation are ineffective. They get no satisfaction, no chaos, no leverage. Over time, your composed responses create a pattern. Disrespect no longer yields results, and the person either adapts or disengages. Emotional discipline signals that you are not just strong in words, but unshakable in presence. The more control you display over your reactions, the more others respect you, because they recognize that you cannot be undermined by their behavior. In essence, mastery over your emotions converts potential vulnerability into power, and the disrespectful person learns that targeting you is a losing game. Your calmness is your dominance, and that alone reshapes how the world treats you. Walking away is often stronger than arguing. Many people feel compelled to fight every slight, to defend themselves endlessly, or to try to teach a lesson to someone who disrespects them. This is a trap. Arguing gives the other person attention, fuels their ego, and often escalates conflict rather than resolving it. Real power is knowing when the battle isn't worth your time and when your presence alone is enough to make a point. Walking away sends a clear, unspoken message. You refuse to engage with those who do not meet your standards. It demonstrates self-respect, control, and confidence, qualities that are far more intimidating than any argument you could win. When you walk away, you deny the disrespectful person the reaction they seek, and in doing so, you reclaim your power. This doesn't mean running from conflict in general. It means choosing your battles wisely and recognizing that some people are not worth your energy. Over time, this strategy reshapes interactions. People begin to understand that pushing you, testing you, or disrespecting you will result in losing access to you entirely. It also protects your mental and emotional well-being, keeping you above pettiness and chaos. Walking away is a silent assertion of dominance. It says more than words ever could. It signals that you are in control, that you set the rules, and that you are not dependent on anyone's approval. In essence, the strongest position is often the one where you remove yourself entirely, forcing respect through absence rather than argument. Your standards decide how others treat you. People constantly observe what you accept, tolerate, and allow in your life, often more than what you explicitly say. If your standards are low, if you excuse disrespect, compromise too easily, or allow others to walk over you, then that becomes the default template for how people behave around you. High standards, on the other hand, act as a natural filter. They attract those who respect your worth and repel those who don't. Standards aren't just rules. They are a reflection of your self-perception. When you consistently enforce them, people learn quickly that crossing the line has consequences. It's not about intimidation or threats. It's about consistency, clarity, and alignment between what you demand and how you act. The moment your standards become visible through your actions, whether in how you speak, carry yourself, or respond to challenges, others adjust automatically. They either elevate their behavior to match your expectations, or they remove themselves from your environment. Living by strong standards also saves energy. You no longer waste time arguing, persuading, or trying to change those who are unwilling to meet your level. Your life becomes a reflection of the respect you demand, and people recognize that disrespect isn't tolerated. In essence, your standards are a silent force shaping the way the world interacts with you. By defining and enforcing them, you control the terms of engagement, protect your value, and ensure that respect is the baseline of every interaction. Consistency in your response builds your reputation. Respect is not earned through one-off displays of strength or occasional boundary setting. It is forged through repeated, unwavering behavior. When someone tests you, they're not just looking at a single reaction, they're observing patterns. If you respond differently each time, wavering between tolerance, anger, or indifference, you create confusion and invite continued disrespect. People respect what is predictable in terms of limits and consequences. Consistency communicates that your standards are not negotiable and that your boundaries are real. It signals that you operate from a place of control, not impulse. Over time, this repeated enforcement trains everyone around you. They learn exactly how you operate, what you will accept, and what will trigger consequences. This makes it almost instinctive for people to treat you with respect because disrespect no longer produces results. It produces loss of access, silence, or firm correction. Reputation is built silently through these repeated, controlled responses. It is your pattern of behavior that precedes you, even before you speak in a room or face a challenge. In essence, consistency transforms respect from something you demand in the moment into something that is assumed automatically. People don't want to test you anymore because the outcome is clear and certain. By being consistent, you remove uncertainty, enforce your value, and build a personal authority that commands respect without negotiation, argument, or excessive effort. At this point, you should understand that respect isn't something you beg for, and it's not something that magically appears. It's enforced. Every decision you make, every reaction or lack of reaction, sends a signal to the world about who you are and what you will allow. People test limits constantly, and the moment you let them cross yours without consequence, you've lost before the battle even begins. But here's the truth. You don't have to fight every battle, and you don't have to react to every slight. Power comes from control, from strategy, from knowing exactly when to act and when to step back. Silence can be louder than words. Walking away can speak more than anger ever could. Boundaries aren't just lines. They're your value printed in the world. Standards aren't optional. They're the rules everyone else must play by if they want to stay in your orbit. Consistency is the secret weapon. When people know you enforce your rules without exception, they stop testing you. They stop trying to push. They learn to respect you, not because you demanded it, but because you made it inevitable. This is how winners operate. You don't need permission to be respected. You don't negotiate with disrespect. You define the terms, you enforce them relentlessly, and you live by them every day. So go out there, raise your standards, strengthen your boundaries, control your reactions, and refuse to tolerate nonsense. The moment you do, the world will adjust and respect will follow, not because you asked for it, but because you made it clear that there's only one way to treat you properly. That's power, that's dominance, that's how you win.